My message for survivors would be, it doesn't matter if it's been years and you haven't said anything. It doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, what you've done in the past. Everyone should have the same right to be heard, to be believed, and you are just as worthy as anyone else. My name is Mary Russell. I work here in Hastings, Minnesota as an assistant county attorney for Dakota County. I prosecute mainly physical and sexual assaults. One of the questions I get regularly from victims is whether or not they'll have to testify, whether or not they'll have to tell their story in a courtroom. And the answer to that is we never know for sure. We try to resolve cases and we try our best to take a victim's feelings and their thoughts into consideration. But if we do proceed to trial, there are often times that someone does have to testify, but we do everything in our power to make sure that it is a safe place for them to be, that they know what to expect, what to be prepared for, they've seen a courtroom and they know where everyone will be. And so we make it as easy as we possibly can. Another question that often people will raise is wondering whether or not they can remember everything correctly, whether they'll do a good job, what they can focus on. And what I always tell people is that is not your job. Your job is to show up and tell the truth and to take care of yourself. It's our job as prosecutors, as law enforcement, to worry about the case, to make sure we're calling the right witnesses, that we're picking the right jurors, that we're doing everything we can to advocate for you, and that you've already done enough. So we constantly remind people that they need to put themselves first in this process and that there isn't a right or wrong answer. It's about that person telling their truth the best that they can. So as a prosecutor, my job is to look at all the facts, decide whether or not we have enough evidence to go to trial. It's not to decide whether or not this actually happened, whether or not someone was actually assaulted. It's only to determine whether or not we have enough to go to trial. And then if we do, look at the law, look at the facts, work with the victim, work with the victim's family, and move forward in the case, either in resolving the case with a plea or moving forward with trial, and looking at each legal piece along the way. We don't directly represent the victims or their family. We represent the state of Minnesota. We represent justice. With that said, we have special obligations to victims of crimes, and our job is to make sure that they're informed, that they're prepared, that they feel part of the process, and that we're listening to what their concerns are and factoring those into our decisions. So while we're not directly their attorney, we are here to help make the process easier and better for them to navigate. One point that's important is the fact that a victim, as far as a trial goes or as far as a case goes, is one piece, and they're the most important piece, but they are part of a long line of hopefully an investigation by the time it reaches a prosecutor's desk, where they've met with law enforcement, potentially multiple law enforcement officers. They've met with nurses or doctors who are supporting this process and doing examinations. They've met with different support groups, social workers who are helping guide through different parts of this process as well. And it's the entire team and those steps that are in place to not only build a case, so hopefully we have something that's strong by the time it reaches a prosecutor's desk, but also it's in place to ensure that that victim is getting a group around them that's going to believe and support them and help walk them through this process from the beginning to the end.